So let's talk about our next console.
Xbox just opened E3 with a clanger. And while calendars all over the world are going to be marked next year with holidays taken off for the release of Cyberpunk in April, I want to talk about Project Scarlett.
A console should be designed and built and optimized for one thing and one thing only: gaming.
And there really is quite a lot to dig into, so let's start with the release date, holiday 2020. The original Xbox One launched all the way back on November 22nd, 2013, with the One X releasing on the 7th of November 2017. So therefore I'd say that a November 2020 date does look very likely, closing off the Xbox One's 7-year cycle. Spec-wise, things are looking very, very tasty indeed, with Microsoft reporting 4 times the performance of the Xbox One X, and that was a console that could do 4K up to 60 frames a second. We're looking at AMD Zen 2 and Navi-based architectures for a significant bump to both the GPU and CPU horsepower, as well as GDDR6 memory for even faster texture streaming. But Xbox say we can expect up to 8K resolution and frame rates up to 120. Realistically, the chances of these two things coming together are pretty much going to be zero, but I guess we can always hope in the future, right? Realistically, we're probably going to be looking at 8K video streaming and then 4K gaming, maybe even up to 120 frames a second, but that would probably only be in lighter titles anyway. I think the thing for me though is that I would really love to see the end of 30 frames a second being the standard. It would be so nice if every new game that came out ran at 4K 60, but again, this is something I think that might not be that realistic, and only time will tell. But regardless, you throw all of this power together with the brand new SSD storage, and we're now looking at not only more detailed worlds, but ones that will also load a whole lot faster. Microsoft mentioned that they really hope to end those horrible loading elevators and make them a thing of the past. But ultimately, the reason that SSD storage actually really excites me, as someone that is a bit of a specky guy, yes, I can see the comments now, yes, I have glasses, ha 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 ha. But the reason that it excites me is because this is now the baseline platform for game developers. And I've actually done tests on the PC with different SSDs, and you'll find that a lot of games weren't actually optimized enough to really take advantage of SSD storage, and load times could actually be the same across a normal hard drive and an SSD. So now if all of the consoles actually start with SSDs, and obviously PCs use SSDs, then that means that games across the board should be that little bit more faster, more responsive, and should be able to take advantage of the hardware. In other news, real-time ray tracing is also coming to the platform, which I think is great for everyone, as every new game may start to integrate this technology, and it will really help gamers regardless of their platform. Ray tracing in video games was first shown off by Nvidia last year, and it enables way more realistic scenes by calculating the path of the light rays directly, rather than faking this effect in development. This can be used for reflections, lighting, and shadows, but it requires a huge amount of parallel processing to actually achieve this. And there's no word on precisely how this is going to be implemented on Scarlett, other than that it is hardware accelerated. So will the game developers have to choose between frame rate and ray tracing, or will there be a degree of free overhead to play with thanks to this dedicated hardware? I am really curious to see where all of this goes, and what it's going to mean for ray tracing's reputation. I think all I can say is that if Microsoft are willing to get behind this technology, then it clearly is quite a big deal. Despite Microsoft moving to SSDs, I'd say that game downloads are likely to become more popular than ever thanks to the Xbox Game Pass. But in an interview with Eurogamer, Matt Booty confirmed that, yes, Scarlett will have an optical disc drive. I still have films at home on physical media, not many, but a few of my favourites. We know people have an attachment to buying games on disc and building a collection. So it doesn't look like games are going to be disappearing from physical stores anytime soon, and the mention of films maybe does suggest that there is going to be a bit of a media, video-centric approach to the Xbox once again. I'd say that the chances of that UHD Blu-ray drive disappearing is quite unlikely, but not completely impossible. So I guess the question to you guys is, do you still buy games on physical disc? And do you watch UHD Blu-rays? Do you think that it needs to be in the next console? Scarlett will also launch alongside Halo Infinite next year, and it will give players a real reason to upgrade and grab the console at its launch. I think that this is pretty important, as it's arguably Microsoft's biggest title, and it is going to be pretty key to its success. I think we're also quite likely to see a bit more cohesion between PC and Xbox. This is something that will really interest me, as while I do have quite a lot of friends on PC, I think that most of my friends probably do still play on Xbox, and it's something I would really like to see. Unfortunately, the price hasn't yet been mentioned, but I'd wager that we're going to see a tag of around about £400–450, though the fact that this is brand new cutting edge tech, and the fact that the Xbox One is available for a very similar price could push it up a fair bit, especially if PlayStation aren't offering anything that is somewhat cheaper. We're no doubt going to learn a lot more about this before the end of the year, hopefully a full face reveal and a full name. The question really does go out to you guys on this one though. What would make you buy it? What are you excited for? And are there any features that would really separate this generation from the next? What do you want to see? I'm really interested to hear your thoughts on this one, so let me know down in the comment section below. If you like this video, please hit the like button, it helps out so much. And for more news on this and anything related to gaming and PC gaming, hit the subscribe button. You won't regret it, I promise. Thank you so much for checking out this video. I'll see you in the next one.